Have you ever picked up a crystal, say an amethyst, a clear quartz, or a moldavite, because everyone raved about it, only to feel nothing? Or maybe you walked into a crystal shop and one particular stone practically jumped out at you because of its strong energies, and you weren't sure why. In the world of spiritual growth, especially if you are new to it, choosing the right crystal can feel both mystical and practical. It's mystical because your intuition plays a huge role, and sometimes it really feels like the crystal is calling out to you, it chooses you. And it's practical because you want tools that genuinely support your energy, not just to look pretty on a shelf. I welcome you to this video. My name is Madam Arbery. I am a certified crystal healer and advanced crystal practitioner. I have been working with clients with their crystals and a lot of other things in the crystal world that pertain to their healing. Now, by the end of this video, you'll learn intuitive techniques in order to figure out how to select the crystals that are right for you and the telltale signs of resonance, the red flags of disconnection, and even busting a few myths about must-have expensive stones. Whether you're a curious beginner or a seasoned crystal collector, I welcome you to stick around. You might just discover something new about crystals and how you connect with them. Let's get started. Crystals are more than just sparkly decor or accessories. They are believed to be energetic tools that can amplify intentions, balance, and even heal our emotions. Choosing the right crystal matters, my dear, because it's like when you find the right crystal that matches your unique energy imprint, it's just like two puzzle pieces fitting together. And you'll get the most benefit from it that way. But if you're working with a crystal that doesn't really match with your energy, you might feel out of tune or notice that there's no effect at all. Think of it this way: a crystal that works wonders for somebody might not work out for you, and vice versa. And that's okay, it's perfectly normal. Each of us has a unique energy signature. And so, what resonates for one person can be totally different from another. In fact, there's a popular saying in the crystal community that you don't choose the crystal chooses you. And yeah, it's pretty much the truth. It implies that the best crystal for you is the one that calls out to your energy the most, one that calls out to the intention that you are seeking and wanting to fulfill. So instead of picking just any stone and just because it's popular or it's cool or that everybody's buying it, it's important to set the intention of what exactly you need and to find one that truly aligns with you based on that. When you do, the difference is going to be noticeable because your crystal now becomes a supportive partner in your spiritual journey rather than just a rock you own. So, how do you actually know if a crystal is meant for you? There are a couple of different ways, actually, and so let's dive into a mix of both intuition and observation. Here are some approaches and signs to guide you. First, using intuition. Sometimes the answer isn't always going to be in a book or on a website, it's what resides inside of us. I want you to try these intuitive techniques to see if you have a connection with a particular crystal. One is to do body scanning or crystal scanning using a pendulum. So if you have a pendulum like this one, it can be made of copper or any other crystal. I want you to take a particular crystal that you want to inquire about on your non-dominant hand and to hover the pendulum above it and to wait for the movement of that pendulum. If the pendulum is going clockwise, that means it's a yes, or it could be that your body, what you feel deep down inside, is resonating with the energies of this crystal. If it's on a counterclockwise, it could mean that you don't need it. Now, if you're the type that likes to ask questions before the pendulum dowsing, you can also ask the pendulum, is this crystal meant for me right now? And then you can proceed with the yes or no answers. Now, I know this is a bit of an advanced technique, but I think it is such a good example to build one's intuitive energy in order for them to really feel and to see if a particular crystal is gravitating towards what their body needs. Next is the hovering hand technique. This is a simple and powerful way to let your body's sensitivities guide you. First, I want you to rub, okay, your hands together for a few seconds to activate their sensitivity. You can even do this, and you will feel like a little bit of tension around that area. Then I want you to hover your hand a few inches above the crystal that you are inquiring about and to tune in. You can close your eyes or to just feel. If you don't want to close your eyes, that's fine. You can keep your eyes open. But the important thing is to tune in to the sensations that you feel after you put your hands over a certain crystal. Do you feel anything? Do you feel subtle sensations, maybe a warmth in your hands or a tingling in a certain part of your body, a coolness, or maybe, with the signs of the universe, a breeze? These are all signs. And I want you to trust those signs because they're like magnetic poles telling you, hey, you need this crystal. Take it now. For example, you might notice that your palm is heating up on a particular carnelian piece. Or maybe you feel a tingling sensation in your third eye or crown chakra over a piece of selenite. These kinds of sensations can be a sign that your energy is resonating with the crystal's vibration. The important thing is to tune in to these sensations. These kinds of sensations can actually be a sign that your energy is resonating with that crystal's vibe. And so, another tip is that folks often find that their left hand is their receptive hand. Again, this is different in a lot of different beliefs. Some people find their right hand is more receptive. I guess it really depends on which is your dominant and non-dominant hand. But in my case, the left hand for me is my receptive hand. And so it is more sensitive to crystal energies. And so when I do any of those hovering over my hand over a crystal, is usually my left that feels it the most more than my right hand. No, this is just a tip, and experiment and see how it unfolds for you. Now, another way to train your intuition is to actually work with a crystal deck, crystal tarot deck, crystal oracle deck, or any deck for that matter that is crystal themed. So I have here with me the Crystal Magic Tarot by Carrie Ward and Claire Gregory. And sometimes I pull this out if I need to use a deck to select the crystals that I need for the day. So let me just pull one out for you guys just so that you can see. So ideally, each card will have a crystal that it represents. For example, for this card, I pulled the Lover's card and it says here tourmalinated quartz. So maybe I need some grounding or I need something to clear my head and to both ground at the same time. So it really depends on you, but using a crystal deck, I want you to ask your deck before you pull out anything. I want you to ask your deck first, what crystal do I need right now? Or if you are stuck in a particular situation, maybe what would help is to give the cards or the deck some context. I need to boost my confidence for a client meeting today. What crystal do I need? And then you pull from your deck. So this is a good way to kind of train your intuitive energy and to use tarot divination for that matter in order for you to find a crystal that works well with what you're feeling at a particular time and something that will help you in a particular situation. Now, beyond these methods, I want you to also pay attention to certain feelings and synchronicities that come with a particular crystal. So, here are some signs that crystal might be working for you or might want you, given the signs that are present in your environment. First is immediate attraction. You sometimes have that crazy feeling of being just drawn to a particular stone. I've had this experience in particular when I would join live sales of some of my crystal shop friends here in the Philippines, and it just sticks to me. I see something, and I don't know, I feel like a certain sensation, mostly in my crown, or maybe in my heart. And it just tells me I need to get it. And that is an instant yes. That is an instant yes. Feeling is often your intuition speaking. And so remember the saying earlier that the crystal chooses you. It is real, my darling. If a particular crystal chooses you or causes your heart to do this little happy jump, take note. It's for you. It's meant for you. Another is to pay attention to positive feelings of calm or even happy feelings. When you hold a crystal, even for just a second, or you stand near a particular crystal when you are in a shop, and you experience this shift in your mood, then the crystal is also calling out to you. Usually, you suddenly feel more at peace or maybe uplifted or excited. Pay attention to these. Perhaps also holding that crystal brings a sense of comfort for you. It's like saying, "Aha, I'm home. I found my owner." And that is real. That is a real feeling. You could also feel a pleasant warmth in your body or clarity in your mind when you hold a particular crystal. I mean, it just clicks. You just know it's for you. These kinds of emotional or physical calm signals are strong indicators of a good energetic match. And so it's like your body sighs in relief, like, "Ah, I finally found my owner." Or the crystal is in the light that you are around. Take note of that. Another is repeated synchronicities. Another sign is when a certain crystal keeps showing up in your life repetitively in different ways. As if you see it on your feed, you see it on another live shop, you see it again in another social media account, you see it again being posted by a friend of yours, and you just keep randomly seeing this same crystal every single time. Now, when a stone's name or image pops up over and over, it's often more than coincidence. And it's as if the crystal is knocking on your door saying, "Hey, pay attention to me." So if you notice this happening with, say, labradorite or citrine, you might want to explore working with it, and you might want to, utilize some of your divination tools. If you have a deck or you have a pendulum and you want to ask the yes or no question, maybe you can ask, is this crystal meant for me? And if you have a tarot deck, maybe you can pull out your tarot deck and ask, is this crystal meant for me, and what is it for? Why is it always showing up in my life? Synchronicity can be a big clue in understanding if a crystal is right for you. Lastly, is feeling that gentle and growing connection. Not every crystal that's right for you will hit you as if lightning bolts of energy or emotion. Sometimes the connection is quiet and it's gradual, it's peaceful, and you might start thinking, this stone is nice enough for me. I deserve this. And then find that you're drawn to it more and more. There's a reason for that. Maybe you keep it on your desk or realize later on that you are feeling supported and balanced just by having it. This gentle resonance is just as valid as an immediate spark. Some crystals take a while for themselves to warm up to you. And so having it there and noticing the subtle shifts in your energy can actually be an indicator that the crystal is meant for you. So don't overlook a stone just because it doesn't give you that fireworks feeling right away. It may still be working its magic in a quieter and more subtle way. Just as important as finding a good match is knowing if a crystal might not be for you, at least not at this time. And so here are some red flags, if I may say, that a crystal is not resonating with your energy. First, you feel repelled or uncomfortable. If you pick up a crystal and your immediate reaction is, oh, cringe, then maybe it's time to tune into that, my darling. Maybe it makes you feel uneasy or drained or uptight, or you just want to put it down right away. Pay attention to that, okay? A heavier off putting situation is a strong sign that a crystal's energy isn't clicking with yours. And so some people even describe feeling a sort of buzzing headache or irritability around certain stones that clash with them. That is normal, my darling. And so trust that reaction. Your intuition could be warning you that this crystal's particular frequency is either too intense or simply not something that you need. It's okay to set it aside. Okay, it's okay to set it aside. Nobody's going to judge you for that. And not every crystal will give you the warm and fuzzy vibes. Another is feeling that you don't have any connection or reaction at all, even after multiple tries. On the flip side, okay, if a crystal gives you absolutely nothing and you put time in it, you've placed it in your desk, it just doesn't make you feel anything. You've probably meditated on it several times or carried it for a week and still feel zero connection, then tune into that as well. We all have stones that leave us feeling kind of indifferent or that just don't light us up. Don't force it, okay? For example, you might love the description of a certain rare crystal, but after multiple interactions with it, it's like holding a plain old rock. That's a clue that it's not meant for you, possibly at this time or right now. Remember, if you are a total beginner and not feeling any crystal yet, give yourself time and be patient with it. The sign is more about a relative lack of connection compared to other stones that you have tried. Another is feeling inner resistance or aversion. Sometimes our mind wants a crystal, but our spirit says nope. Have you ever read about a crystal's properties over the internet or over Google and say, wow, I need this in my life? And then you bought it, and then you found it, and you're holding it in your hands, and you consider that as you it stays longer in your hands, you feel this certain weird sensation or reluctance towards it. Pay attention to it. That kind of inner resistance when you're drawn to the idea of a certain crystal but feel a block when working with it, it can actually signal that it's not actually right for you. It might mean you're not ready for what it brings, or you were attracted for intellectual reasons like its reputation rather than the intuitive ones itself. Listen to that hesitation, okay? You have permission, again, without any judgment, you have permission to put a crystal away if you're just not feeling it. Even a part of you thinks you should work with it, but your inside of you is just, no, this is not working for me. Don't force it. Just put it away, set it aside, and come back to it at a later time. Another sign that a crystal might not be working for you is if you bought it because of the hype or because of obligation. In the age of social media, it is easy to fall into the trap of thinking that you must have a certain particular crystal because it's trending, it's rare, it's expensive. I'm gonna stop you right there. If the only reason you have a crystal is because everyone else said it's awesome, that's not a great foundation for a personal energetic connection with a crystal. So, for example, maybe you splurge on a piece of moldavite thinking that it's gonna change your life. And I mean, it has changed people's lives. But, once you have it, you realize that it doesn't work for you and you only bought into it because you don't want to feel a sense of FOMO or fear of missing out. If that's the case, I want you to pause in and check in with yourself. Hype fades, okay? Hype fades, but your own intuition never will. And so trust your intuition more than the hype, okay? It's perfectly fine not to resonate with a crystal that others adore. Don't force a relationship with a stone just because it's famous, it's all over TikTok, it's all over Instagram, and because it costs a lot. Your energy couldn't care less about price tags or popularity, my darling. It cares about what feels right. And so trust that, trust in your intuition, and trust what your inner self is telling you. In short, if a crystal constantly makes you feel uneasy, completely indifferent, or if you realize you only got it due to outside pressure, those are good signs that a particular stone might not be right for you, or at least at this point in time. You can always come back to it another time, but for now, let it go. Give yourself a break from it and come back to it later to see if anything's changed. But honor your feelings. Honoring your feelings at that particular moment is key to accepting how you feel about a certain crystal. Now, let's address a myth that would probably be a controversial topic for some people watching this video, and I will be expounding on this in a separate video, but I feel that it's important to kind of dip our toes into this topic, and that is the idea of crystal elitism. This is the idea that only the rarest and most expensive stones are the most high vibration ones and are those that are worth your time. Now, I have no hate to people that like to buy expensive stones. That is fine. That is up to you. If you have the money to go for that, go for it. And I, as a collector myself, I have expensive stones. But always remember that a crystal's price or rarity doesn't automatically make it the best healer or manifester for you. Sure, some crystals are objectively rare and can be costly. I mean, there's a lot of different reasons for that. They look gorgeous and have unique geological properties, but from a spiritual and energetic perspective, the best crystal for you is the one that meets your current needs and one that you feel a bond with, not because of its price tag. Cost doesn't equal impact, my darling. In fact, one experienced crystal healer said that the most important thing is to choose a crystal based on what you're attracted to, not the grade or the price. If you're deeply drawn to a simple piece of amethyst, that humble stone can potentially do far more for you than an ultra rare gemstone you're meh about, right? Let's use moldavite for example. Okay, this is a crystal that everyone keeps on talking about. Moldavite is a mossy green tektite that's literally from out of this world because it's formed by a meteor impact. And there's not a lot of moldavite out there left. And so if you manage to grab it, it can be quite pricey and expensive. It's been hyped a lot. Like I tell you, it's all over TikTok, it's all over Instagram. Everyone wants to have moldavite. And some people actually call it like a catalyst for rapid spiritual awakening. Yes, moldavite can be powerful. I mean, myself, I have worked with moldavite. It has changed my life in many ways. It has ruined a lot of things as well. But here's the thing, it's not for everyone. It's not for everyone. And I'm not saying this to gatekeep moldavite, not at all. But I'm just addressing this more for beginners that you don't have to immediately go with the hype and go for moldavite right away if you're just dipping your toes in spiritual healing or crystal healing for that matter. And it's not because people are no not enlightened enough or anything to work with moldavite. It's not that. Again, I'm not gatekeeping it. It's because going sometimes for the rarest and most expensive can be quite overwhelming and intense, and it can be a bit too much for something as simple as needing emotional balance, finding love. There are other crystals that we can use for that. And so I personally, again, this is a personal opinion, moldavite is not for everyone. Not everyone is ready or willing for that rapid spiritual change. And I also feel responsible to tell that to the audience like you, so that you don't give in to that hype. I'm not gonna be that crystal expert who's gonna tell you you have to get moldavite. I ain't really not. Now, if you're not prepared for big shifts, working with a high octane crystal like moldavite might feel like you're suddenly going on overdrive, and always not in a comfortable way. Trust me when I say moldavite is not comfortable. Some folks have amazing breakthroughs with it, while others experience headaches, vivid dreams, major life upheavals that they didn't really bargain for when they bought the crystal in the first place. The point is, you don't need a super high end or intense crystal to grow spiritually. There's no such thing as graduating to an elite class of crystals and to graduate with flying colors in your crystal healing journey. A plain black tourmaline, okay, could protect you and ground you in exactly the way you need, whereas a flashy moldavite might just give you the heebie jeebies, literally. Or vice versa, depending on the person, okay? It's all relative to you. So, if you ever find yourself thinking, I only have these common stones. They're not really as good as insert fancy crystal here. I want you to stop right there, okay? Your clear quartz, for example, is just as legit as any rare mineral when it's used with intention and love. The crystal kingdom has no hierarchy, especially when it comes to crystal healing. It's not like the rare ones sit on a throne and the common ones are just, meh. It doesn't work that way. Each type of crystal has its specialties, sure, but the real question is, does it resonate with your energy? Do you need it right now? If yes, then it's a winner. No questions asked, right? No matter how cheap or expensive that particular crystal is, it's yours. But in essence, don't let crystal elitism or hype dictate your journey. Collect or work with crystals. If you feel connected doing that, like work with different crystals. That's how I started. The reason why I went into crystal collecting was so that I could understand which crystals work best for me and which don't. And the ones that don't, I just rehome or resell. But the thing is, I don't want you to feel like you're missing out on anything just because you don't have the rarest stone. And often in social media, we really get overly hyped of these things, and we really feel FOMO. We really feel like we're missing out when we don't have a particular piece. Please don't feel that way. Please don't feel that way. Remember, the most powerful crystal for you is the one that responds to your energy and to your intentions. It could be a common piece of quartz or a rare gemstone. It's up to you, but what's important is that you need it and it resonates with you. I want you to honor where you are and what truly calls to you, and you will always have the right crystal companion when you approach it that way. So now that we've talked about this, I want to do a little bit of a fun exercise with you guys to put your intuition into practice. So this activity will help you actually feel the process of a crystal choosing you. And don't worry, it's simple. You can do it at home. So I want you first to gather 7 different crystals. Doesn't matter what kind, 7 different crystals. Go ahead, grab a variety if you have available. It can be tumbled stones, it can be carvings, ideally 7. But it's okay if you have fewer, that's fine, just as long as you have a selection. And the idea is to have a nice mix of every single thing. Now, I want you to lay them out on your table in front of you. Pause the video here if you need to, okay? Pay attention first to what I'm about to say. I want you to lay them in front of you on your table or on your floor. And before you do anything, I want you to close your eyes. And I want you to take 3 deep breaths. Inhale with me. And release. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale. And let go. 1 more time. Inhale. And release. I want you to open your eyes. I want you to feel centered. And I want you to feel that you are entering into a sacred connection with the crystals that are laid out in front of you. In your mind, I want you to think, or if you want to say this out loud, sure. I want you to say, I intend to choose the crystal that is for my highest good. I'll repeat that again. I intend to choose the crystal that is for my highest good. Now, saying this affirmation helps you get into this receptive and calm mindset, and it also states the intention that you want for selecting a crystal. Now, the third step is I want you to hover your hand above those crystals, a few inches above each crystal. You go with the first one and slowly move your hand to the next crystal, and then to the third, the fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh. Now, take your time with this. This part is going to be where you need to tune in to the sensations that you feel. You can take as much time as you need, or if you want to set a couple of seconds or minutes per crystal, that's fine too. Find something that works for you. But the important thing here is to pay attention to any sensations, whether in your hands, in your receptive hand, or in your body. Or does it conjure any thoughts and feelings in your mind or in your heart? Do you have any gut feels or thoughts that come up? You can also ask yourself, does one crystal feel warmer than another, cooler than another? Or do you notice a tingle in your palm once you've hovered on a particular crystal? Or you might feel an intense emotional response like a spark of happiness or a sense of calm when your hand is hovered above a particular crystal. Again, take your time with this. The differences and sensations will be very subtle, so it's important that you don't rush into it. And I want you to trust whatever you get, even if it feels very light. Now, the next step is, given what you felt, given the sensations, given what you've detected, I want you to pick out the crystal in that selection of 7 that strongly called out to you because of that sensation, that feeling of warmth, that jump of happiness, that spark of joy, whatever it might be. Select that crystal right now. The goal here is to not overthink it. Don't overthink it, okay? Let your subtle body wisdom and intuition pave the way towards choosing the right one. And so, this chosen crystal will be your companion for the day. I want you to carry it through your day or to have it near you while you're working or you're doing your daily chores. I want you to pay attention to how it makes you feel. Now, if you like journaling, which I love, Gallery Arbery loves journaling, and so does Madam Arbery. If you keep a journal, I want you to also jot down notes and observe how this chosen crystal changed the way you feel, the way you made decisions. Any subtle changes, jot that down. And at the end of the day, I want you to reflect on that. So why are we doing this exercise? There is one key question that will get out of this and what we want answered. And that is, did this crystal feel aligned with you today? After reflecting, this experience might be something that you will keep in mind or something that will give you a boost in your intuitive abilities. The more that you practice it, the more you'll tune in to the yes or no signals, and the energy that it resonates with and how it responds to you is really a telltale sign that your intuition is very sensitive about that. So feel free to repeat this process and exercise anytime you're curious whether this particular crystal is what you need to work with, or you just simply want to test out your intuition and to test out the crystals that you already have that are just sitting there waiting for you to work with them. Again, I told you it's like flexing a muscle. Okay, your intuitive sensing can get stronger and clearer with practice. Choosing crystals is a personal journey. As we've explored, the right crystal will tend to resonate and it might draw you in with a strong energy, a strong attraction, and give you feelings of peace, joy, happiness, or it can just quietly support you in the background. These signs can be loud or subtle, but they all point out to one thing: a harmony between your energy and that crystal's energy. On the flip side, if the crystal doesn't vibe with you, it makes you feel uneasy, giving you nothing at all after a lot of different tries, or you realize that you grabbed it because of the hype or because of peer pressure, then it's perfectly fine to set it aside for now and come back to it later if you will. You, my dear, are allowed to choose what feels right for you and skip what doesn't. Don't force yourself to do that, no matter what anyone else says. Always remember to trust your intuition and your own energy. And in this world of crystals and in spirituality in general, your inner compass is the best guide ever. No book, no expert, not even this video can override what you feel deep down inside. So take what insights help you and always honor your personal experience as you go along. And if you do that, you won't go wrong. Now, before we wrap up, I'd love to hear from you. Again, did you try the intuitive exercise? Please don't forget to comment down below to let me know which crystal you worked with and how you felt about that. And if you feel more inclined to be in a community and to discuss crystals, energy healing, witchcraft, and other things in the umbrella of spirituality, I would like to invite you to our Discord server called Gallery Galaxy. I'm gonna link it down in the description below. And as always, if you loved this video, please subscribe and hit that like button, give a thumbs up. For our next video, I'll probably be talking more about crystal elitism. I think it's so important to make people understand why you don't need the most expensive stones. I know we've touched on it a bit on this video, but definitely we're gonna tune in more to that on another video in the future. And so until then, until next time, trust your energy, follow your intuition, and keep shining bright. This is Madam Arbery, and I'll be seeing you in the next video. Bye for now.